He opened his apartment door at 6:23 a.m. to grab the morning newspaper and almost stepped on something that would completely transform his life. There, sitting perfectly still on his doormat like she'd been waiting all night, was a black and white cat with the most piercing green eyes he'd ever seen. She didn't meow, didn't run, just stared up at him with an expression that seemed to say, "You're late. I've been expecting you." Now here's where it gets interesting. Most people would have shooed the cat away or called animal control, but something about those emerald eyes stopped him cold. The way she sat there, completely calm, despite the morning dew soaking her patchy fur, like she'd already made her decision about him and was just waiting for him to catch up. He crouched down slowly. The cat didn't flinch. Up close, he could see she was thin, too thin, with matted fur and a small scar above her left eye. But those green eyes, man, they were absolutely hypnotic against her black and white markings. "You pickin' your human or waiting for an invitation?" he whispered. She blinked once, slowly, then walked directly past him into his apartment like she owned the place. And if you're watching this and you've ever had a moment where an animal just chose you out of nowhere, you know this feeling. Hit that subscribe button because stories like this prove that sometimes the best things in life find us when we least expect them. He stood there in his doorway, trash bag still in hand, watching this soaking wet cat explore his apartment with the confidence of a landlord doing an inspection. She sniffed the couch, examined the bookshelf, and then jumped onto his armchair and sat down like a queen claiming her throne. "So, we're doing this?" he asked the universe, more than the cat. She tucked her paws under her chest, those green eyes half closing in approval. He had no cat supplies. Nothing. It was early morning, most stores weren't open yet, and this cat, who he'd started calling Duchess because of her regal attitude, was clearly starving. He found a can of tuna, put it on a plate, and set it down. Duchess approached cautiously, sniffed it, then looked up at him. She took one small bite, then another, but kept glancing back at him between each bite, like she was testing whether this was real. That's when it hit him. This wasn't just a hungry stray. This was a cat who'd learned that good things don't last. He sat down on the floor nearby. "Take your time," he said softly. "Nobody's gonna take it away from you." Duchess finished eating slowly. Then she did something that made his throat tight. She walked over, climbed into his lap, and pressed her head against his chest. Not purring yet, just existing there, testing this new reality. He stayed frozen, barely breathing. They sat like that for 20 minutes until his legs went completely numb, but he didn't care. By 7 a.m., he'd set up a makeshift litter box. Duchess used it immediately, which told him she definitely had a home before. Someone had loved her once, and then something had gone terribly wrong. The next morning brought a decision point. He worked long hours, traveled sometimes, lived alone in a small apartment. Was he really the right person for this? He looked at Duchess, who'd spent the night at the foot of his bed, those green eyes watching him even in sleep. "What do you think, Duchess? You want to stick around, or take your chances elsewhere?" She walked up to his pillow and headbutted his face, once, twice, 3 times. Then she started purring, a sound that grew louder until it filled the entire room. The debate was over. She'd chosen him. The pet store opened at 9 a.m. He was there at 8:59, first customer through the door, buying everything. Premium food, proper litter box, toys, scratching post, even a ridiculous feather wand. "First cat?" the clerk asked. "First cat who picked me," he corrected. Back home, Duchess investigated each new item. The food received enthusiastic consumption, but the feather wand changed everything. The moment he wiggled it, something primal awakened in Duchess. Her pupils dilated until those green eyes were almost entirely black. For 20 minutes they played, and he watched this serious, dignified cat transform into a playful kitten. That's when he realized something crucial. She hadn't forgotten how to play. She'd just forgotten it was safe to. Now here's something I want to ask you. Some people say animals choose their humans, that there's something almost mystical about these connections. Others think it's just random timing, pure chance. what do you believe? Drop a comment because what happened next makes you wonder. Week 2 brought unexpected challenges. Duchess became fiercely protective of him. When his friend Marcus came over, she positioned herself between them, green eyes locked on Marcus like a tiny bodyguard. When his mom called on video chat, Duchess sat on his laptop keyboard, blocking the camera. "Your cat is jealous," Marcus laughed. But it wasn't jealousy. Duchess had lost everything once, and now she'd found her person. She wasn't taking any chances. Every time he came home, she was waiting at the door. Every night, she slept pressed against his side. But here's what nobody tells you about rescuing animals. Sometimes you think you're saving them, but really they're saving you from a life you didn't even know was lonely. He'd lived alone for 3 years, convincing himself he preferred the quiet, the independence. Now, with Duchess claiming every surface, demanding attention at exactly 6:15 a.m. every morning, he realized how empty that simple life had actually been. 3 months in, something happened that proved their connection ran even deeper. He got food poisoning, bad enough that he called in sick for 2 days. Duchess didn't leave his side for 48 hours straight. She lay on his chest, purring constantly, occasionally patting his face with her paw as if checking he was still breathing. When he finally felt well enough to eat, she supervised from the counter, those green eyes watching every bite. The moment he was better, she went back to her usual routine. But he'd never forget those 2 days when a cat who'd been abandoned by the world refused to abandon him. 6 months have passed since that dewy October morning. Duchess has gained weight. Her black and white coat now shines like polished marble and fresh snow, those green eyes even more striking against healthy fur. She's accepted that sometimes other humans visit, though Marcus still gets the suspicious eye treatment. But every single night when he comes home, she's waiting at that same door where she first appeared. And every single time, he remembers that moment of choice, that split second when he could have said no. The thing about rescue animals that changes you forever is this: they never forget the moment you chose them, and in choosing them, they show you who you were always meant to become. Because sometimes the strays sitting outside our doors aren't just looking for shelter. They're looking for the one person brave enough to believe that broken things can become whole again.